We will start the press conference by Minister Motegi. There's nothing from me at the outset, so please raise your question. If you have any questions, please raise your hand and use the microphone and mention your name and affiliation. Nagahara-san from Sankei Shimbun. Nagahara from Sankei Shimbun. I have a question about, could you come to this side? Can you bring the microphone here? Is that okay? I have a question about Japan-China relations. China already is using non-correct information such as the old enemy clause, and Minister of Foreign Affairs is trying to counteract through social media. What are the measures that Japan should take against such actions by China? Well, as you have mentioned, the Chinese embassy in Japan is sending messages referring to the United Nations Charter enemy clause, which is already a dead sentence, sounding as if that is valid. That is not right. So, Ministry of Foreign Affairs has communicated the facts about this case, as you're already aware of. Going forward, with regards to such claims and information dissemination against facts, based on objective facts, we hope understanding will be promoted. We will continue to promote appropriate information and provide correct information and show Japan's position on the subject.
Horikoshi-san from Nikkei Shimbun. Horikoshi from Nikkei speaking. Now, this is related to China as well. President Trump and Xi Jinping in China had a telephone meeting on the 24th, and the Chinese side has claimed to have explained China's principal position on Taiwan, but that is not acceptable as China wages political opinion. I believe that it is important for China to reiterate its position on the United States. On the 25th, there was a telephone meeting between Prime Minister Takaichi and Prime Minister Trump, and he has been talking about, and she said that there has been talk about strengthening of U.S.-Japan relations and such. So we would like to ask about your feedback on these two meetings. And also, with your counterpart, Secretary of State Rubio, you have plans, whether or not you have plans to have a telephone meeting, let me ask. Now, yesterday, late at night, Prime Minister Takaichi came back to Japan, and that is why there was a telephone meeting today. From G20, she has come back, and I think that includes that report as well. So with the United States regularly on wide-ranging topics, there has been various levels of communication. As one of that, immediately after her return to Japan this morning, Prime Minister Takaichi had a telephone meeting together with President Trump. So that is my understanding. So within that, President Trump had explained about the recent U.S.-China relations, inclusive of the U.S.-China summit meeting, telephone meeting that was recently held. But on the other hand, from Prime Minister Takaichi, as mentioned, concerning G7 summit, she explained. So based on the current international situation, we were able to confirm close communication between Japan and U.S. leaders, and that was very significant. And concerning myself and Secretary of State Rubio, we will continue to communicate, we hope. But concerning the telephone meeting, when that is going to be held, there is nothing concrete determined as of yet. But in any case, together with the Secretary Rubio, at various levels with our allies in the United States, we would like to continue to have close communication.
Sakaguchi-san from Kyodo Tsushin. Sakaguchi from Kyodo Tsushin. Related to this question, Within the summit meeting, relationship with China and the US, Mr. Trump mentioned that he was very strong about it, and about the issue of tariff, the importance was recognized according to communications. And in the Japan-US telephone talks, was there any exchange of views on this subject? Japan-US telephone talks, Prime Minister Takaichi herself has already answered to the media, and from myself, there is nothing more to add.
Miyawaki-san from Asahi Shimbun, please. Miyawaki from Asahi Shimbun. Now, concerning the answer by the Prime Minister concerning Taiwan, now China is trying to appeal to the international society. So the concerns were given by the telephone meeting, and as was mentioned earlier, a document was included, and now they are trying to criticize about Japan throughout the international society, inclusive of Central Asia. And I understand that Ambassador Yamazaki has sent letters to the UN Security Council as well. But what kind of move will you take to the international society from Japan? So as I mentioned earlier concerning China as Japan, we mentioned that a letter has been sent, and from Ambassador Yamazaki to Guterres Secretary General concerning related to China's letter that was sent to Secretary General Guterres. We have sent a letter explaining our Japan situation. Now concerning these, it's not as if we are refuting these, but whatever is against the facts, we need to correct. That is our view. And also, to repeat myself, between Japan and China, of course, there are various issues and challenges and concerns. But because there are such issues and concerns, through dialogue, we need to alleviate these, and also where we can cooperate, we need to increase, so that understanding and cooperation will increase. That is extremely important.
Umemura-san from Yomiuri Shimbun. Umemura from Yomiuri Shimbun, related to the previous question. In the last few weeks, both internationally and internally, China has strengthened its communication about Japan and is conducting a sort of recognition war and propaganda war. A strategic communication and public diplomacy in these sectors, what are the policies of Japan, and what's your understanding about the importance of such efforts? And in foreign countries, information which is of disadvantage of Japan and the difference in understandings, what approaches do you intend to take? In the international community, to develop correct understanding and to have a firm understanding of Japan's position, it is very important to strengthen our communication. And I myself will do my utmost efforts for that purpose, as I have been saying, not limited only to China, but if there are claims which is against facts, we should refute and disseminate our communication. The media of different countries and experts in different countries, we should actively provide information and also to promote collection of information and analyze information of trends in the information space, also including the effective use of social media. I want to strengthen strategic external communication. And already, with regards to Japan, there are many people who have a favorable view about Japan. It is important to expand such a foundation. And from that perspective, to communicate about the attractiveness of Japan will be promoted. And should I say friends of Japan, people who have a positive feeling about Japan, so-called Japan Friends should be further expanded, including cultural diplomacy. Cultural diplomacy should be strengthened fundamentally, and would like to promote public diplomacy.
NHK Yamamoto-san, please. Yamamoto from NHK. Now, concerning the Trilateral Summit meeting between Japan, China, and ROK. So yesterday, the foreign ministry spokesperson expressed negative view of the summit, saying Japan leaders have made openly erroneous statements of the Taiwan issue, damaging foundation atmosphere of cooperation. And Japan is going to be the presidency. How will this be conducted? Now, together with China, concerning various dialogues, we remain open. This remains unchanged. The Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson's remarks that is not consistent with the comprehensive promotion of mutually beneficial relations based on common strategic interest and building constructive and stable Japan-Chinese relations, which has been decided between the leaders of the two countries. At the next summit meeting between Japan, China, ROK, Japan will be chairing. The timing is not yet determined, but we will continue to communicate appropriately with both China and ROK.
Next question, Kelly-san from Reuters. Kelly from Reuters. About Japan-China relationship. President Trump and Secretary Rubio still has not expressed their support for Japan. What is your understanding about this situation? Are there any concerns? Could you repeat your question? I'm sorry. President Trump and Secretary Rubio, they have not yet expressed their support for Japan. What is your understanding about this situation? Is there any concern or anything unexpected? Support about what of Japan? About Japan-China relationship, diplomatic relations. Ambassador Glass has expressed support for Japan through X, but President Trump and Secretary Rubio has not expressed any support through X or through any other means. They have not expressed yet their support for Japan. I believe that, for example, through various diplomatic relations that Japan has with various countries, we have good relations, but there are cases in which we have differing views. For each individual issue, the White House or the Department of State would not express their support or opposition to everything. They have not yet taken any action like that so far. Thank you. This concludes the press conference. Thank you very much.